All right. Welcome, everybody. What are we on today? Friday? Flex Friday? Yeah, Flex Friday over on Prize Picks. My name's CJ Curry. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. And think about subscribing. Free content here on YouTube. Can't beat it. We're going to be talking about definitely talking about some different MLB picks today. So as soon as I get my tongue untied, we could start talking about some baseball. But I appreciate everybody for joining me here. Who do we got in here? We got a number of different people. We got Everyday Fantasy. That's my guy Don P. If you guys are new, Don P has been in the Dub Club community, Discord community for quite some time. Those of you who are in Dub Club, you already know who Don P is. He's dropping plus EV 6-pick flex bangers each and every day. So appreciate Don P for all the love and support. We got Michael in the building. What's up to you? We got the official Diverse. Yo, what's happening? We got the 5-star Jay Blix is ready to get the bag. Your mom. My mom? No, not my mom. The person's name is Your Mom. What's up? Toxic's in the building. Hello to you, Chris. Back in here. I see you, Chris. We've also got Chris Raptor, not to be confused with Chris Monin. Two different people. Vincent's in the building. Let's go. Flex Friday. I see you out there flexing. Cameron's in the building. Shout out to you. Who else we got in here? Cho Boy Whack. Chef Curry, time to cook up. Love that. What's up, everybody? What's up? Yeah, we got a pretty big MLB slate today. Obviously, it is Flex Friday over on Prize Picks, which means we get a risk-free shot at winning some money. And anytime we get a risk-free bet or a risk-free opportunity, we should definitely be taking advantage of it. So we will definitely try to do our best to do just that, to put together a winning entry over on Prize Picks. Now, if you're not playing on Prize Picks, promo code Curry still getting you that 100% instant deposit match. Maybe you've never heard of Prize Picks. Maybe you're just a sports book bettor. Prize Picks is pretty cool. They offer some different player prop markets that aren't offered anywhere else, as well as some different sports that aren't offered anywhere else. So Prize Picks gives you a lot of unique ways to play, lots of different ways to play, lots of options. So sign up for Prize Picks, use code Curry, make that first deposit. Going to do a 100% instant deposit match on your first deposit, giving you a free $100 bet. Yeah, I like free bets. You guys like free bets? I like free bets. Let's see here. Switch over and take a look at today's MLB slate. Like I said, quite a few games. We've got, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 different games, 30 baseball teams in action, but we do have some weather concerns. And if you've joined me in previous live streams and videos in the past, you know that weather is an enemy. It's something for us to kind of be on the lookout for. Mother Nature can do its thing. Sometimes she agrees with us. Sometimes she doesn't want to cooperate, but definitely should be checking in on the weather before you start locking in some baseball bets. So let's do that real quick. Dodgers and Tigers, maybe a raindrop or two, but this gets the green light, so we shouldn't have to worry about any weather from that game. Maybe a little precipitation, but not a whole lot for us to really be concerned. A more concerning situation is the Oakland A's and Phillies game. Lots of rain there leading up to first pitch. Not much rain after first pitch. They could get away with a late start. Sometimes they push these games back and start them later than what the scheduled time is. And so that could be something you see here with the Athletics and Phillies. So don't be surprised if that game gets pushed back. But as always, you run the potential risk here of this game running into, a weather delay, rain delay. And that's not good, especially if you're taking the over on pitcher props. So be careful with that game. The next game is the New York Yankees and Baltimore Orioles. This game, another one of those ones that has some rain delays, some rain concerns. New York and Baltimore, essentially a carbon copy of what he's seeing in Philly. There's rain around the early stages of the game, but it most likely falls apart around game time, which is good news. Hopefully this game stays dry and plays all the way through. Again, taking overs on pitchers especially can be kind of dangerous in games like this. You take the over on a guy's pitching outs, his fantasy score, his strikeouts, and then all of a sudden he only pitches, 3.2 innings or 4.1 innings and doesn't get his full workload. It's going to be hard for him to hit the over on some of those props. So that's definitely something to kind of keep in mind. Miami Marlins at Cincinnati Reds. It's a yellow/green, few spotty showers. If one pops over the ballpark, a delay is possible. So weather, kind of unpredictable at times. You never know. A pop-up shower, totally possible over in the nasty natty. Kansas City Royals, Boston Red Sox. We've got high-res models showing a cluster of showers passing just west of Boston in this game. If that's correct, we play with no issues. If that's off by a few miles, we might see a delay. So pregame risk might be lowered if the rains continue to kind of move west. But it is humid weather, which is good for hitters. The winds are blowing out to left/center field at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So this would be a fantastic situation to maybe take some overs on some hitters here, whether they be Royals hitters, whether they be Red Sox hitters. Anytime the wind's blowing out at 10 to 15 miles per hour and you've got high humidity situation, the ball carries further, it travels further. So could get some more home runs, could get some extra base hits, things like that. Last game, yellow/orange, another one of these nasty situations here. Colorado Rockies, New York Mets, like Baltimore, like Philadelphia, we'll have some scattered showers early in the game, clearing quickly. In all these games, our weather guy, Kevin Roth here, thinks that the worst case scenario is just a late start and they play through. But definitely stay tuned, stay on top of this weather as we get closer and closer to first pitch. So there you go. A little bit of information about the weather. If you guys have any questions about the weather, about any type of scenarios where it can be raining, where the wind might be blowing out, blowing in. Wind blowing in, by the way, good for pitching. Wind blowing out, good for hitting. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the live chat. I'm here to help you guys. Whether it be weather concerns, whether it be an individual player prop, you have questions about something that you've got your eye on, but you're not quite sure whether to go more, whether to go less, or whether to fade it. I'm here to help you guys. And if you want to help support the channel and the content here, think about leaving a super chat. Super chat will highlight your comment here in YouTube and definitely get you prioritized above the other questions that other people might have. It's kind of like a fast pass. When you go to Disney and you want to ride those rides, you're wanting to skip the line, you buy the fast pass, right? That's kind of what super chat is for. You use a super chat, leave a question, comment, concern, and you get boosted to the front of the line. So I appreciate everybody who takes the time out to leave a super chat to help support me, help support the content here on YouTube. It goes a long way. I really, really want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So let's go ahead and look at some props while you guys are kind of coming up with your questions. We're going to pull in the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. And if you guys don't know what the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is, basically it's a tool. It's a tool in your arsenal. It should be in your arsenal. What this does is basically goes out there and it looks at all the different sports books. It compares the odds from different books. It kind of gives you a good idea of which way things are being bet. Over, under out on the books. What it does is it strips out the vig, it strips out the juice, and it gives you true odds, fair odds of a player prop hitting, whether that be over or under. It color codes it for you. It gives you a nice little percentage, gives you an idea of what the percentage, the chances are of this player prop to hit in your favor, over, under, higher, lower, more, less. And that's basically how the tool works. Now, is it a 100% guaranteed route to profitability each and every day? No, it's not. There's nothing out there, no tool, no projection models, no hit rates out there, no process, nothing out there that's going to guarantee you a 100% hit rate or chance to win each and every day. So what we have to do is kind of control what we can control here, because there's a lot that's not in our control when we're betting on sports. A lot of these athletes go out there, they look like they're in a good position, they've hit in 5 straight games, then they go out there and they disappear, they turn ghost, right? And then they chalk. They chalk their prop. They sell their prop, whatever keyword you want to use there, right? They don't come through for us when we want them to come through. So whatever your process is, maybe it's just blindly guessing, going with your gut or intuition, whether it's you using tools, projections, just keep in mind that it's all a risk. It's all a gamble. We're all guessing. We're just all choosing how to guess with data, without data. With data, I think is the way to go, and that's what you'll see out of me. Nothing that I play is, just me going with a hunch or a feeling. It's all based on data. It's all rooted in projections. It's all rooted in odds pulled from the sports books. So that's what you're going to get out of me. So let's take a look here at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We've got it all pulled up here. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you that are watching on mobile devices. Boom, there we go. We got a little zoom action there. And here's kind of what is popping up around the PrizePicks board, around these different player props. You got Ryan Mountcastle, top play on the optimizer right now for less or under on 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. So that's a combination, kind of like points, rebounds, and assists in the NBA. They've got hits, runs, and RBIs for MLB. So it's a combination of hits, runs, and RBIs. You get 1 point for each one of those things that he accomplishes during the game. So they're saying he's not going to have more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And when I say they, I'm talking about sports bettors, people that are going out to these books like DraftKings, like BetMGM, like Fliff, and they're putting their cold, hard cash down on the under on Ryan Mountcastle to stay less than 2.0 hits, runs, and RBIs. So that's where the odds are being pulled from, right? You go out there, you place a bet using your money, then the sports books will adjust the odds accordingly as money comes in on the over or the under. So that's kind of how it works here. So we're using the real market data from real sports bettors who are putting real money down on these props to help us make decisions here on my side of choice, which is PrizePicks. All right. So Mountcastle under 1.5. Usually whenever props like that are super high on the optimizer, they don't last very long. There's a reason they don't last very long, because we have a mathematical edge or advantage. Same thing here with Garrett Cole at 6 pitcher strikeouts. Based on the odds, the juice pulled from these different books. Now, in this case, there's only 2 books. Now, I like more data points. The more data points, the better. What do I mean by data points? More sports book data. So like this one, you're getting FanDuel data and you're getting BetOnline data. 2 books that it's referencing. But if you look at the one right below it, Andrew Haney and Hunter Brown, you're not getting just 2 books. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books to reference. Different odds on different books. But what it does is it basically goes out and it aggregates all those odds, again, stripping out the juice, giving you what the true or fair odds are of you hitting this prop. So you got about a 53.5% chance that Andrew Haney plus Hunter Brown will exceed 10.5 pitcher strikeouts. So they need 11 or more combined Ks in order for you to get paid on this prop. So let's start building out a slip over here on PrizePicks. Again, they are running Flex Friday today. You have to go over to the promotions tab. Here's what my promotions tab looks like. I got the little goofy get $25 on us thing, and then I've got the Flex on them protected play. Looks like mine's only $5. Let me know in the live chat. Is yours $5? Is it more than $5? Some people were getting $35 protected plays. I know once upon a time they were doing like $25 or $20 protected plays. It went all the way down to $5. business isn't booming during the summer for Prize Picks, so I'm sure that has something to do with it. But let's opt in nonetheless. We'll take a $5 protected play. It's better than no protected play. It ain't what it used to be, but doggone it, it's better than nothing. So we opted into the $5 protected play over here on Prize Picks. But let me know what you guys got today on Prize Picks in the live chat, or if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comment section. Is your protected play only $5, or are you guys still rocking the $25, the $35 protected plays? And yes, as Tyrone said, hit the like button, especially if you guys are watching live. Slap the like button. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do my part. I'm going to hit the like button too. I can only hit the like button once. I can only share this so many times. But if you like what we're doing here so far and you want to share, please like the channel. Please share the channel. Share the live stream with somebody who's betting on Prize Picks or betting on a different site. I think this information helps no matter where you're placing your bets. But let's go to the pitcher strikeout combo. We've got Haney and Brown over 10.5 combined strikeouts. So what we're going to do here is kind of build out a slip. Then we're going to go and take a look at a couple different projection models, see how these guys are projecting, see if they're projecting for the over, the under on a couple of sharp MLB projection models. One is the Bat by Derek Carty. The other one's going to be RotoWire. And we could even check Fantasy Labs for a couple of strikeout props. But that's your first one. That is one of the top plays right now on the optimizer. It is a mathematically driven play. There is data behind it. You got a little over a 53% chance of this hitting, which means you have about a 47% chance of this not hitting, okay? Nothing's guaranteed here. You got to think of it as a weighted coin. You flip that coin. 53 times out of 100, it's going to go your way. But 47 times out of 100, it may not go your way. When you think about it in that perspective, in those terms, maybe it's a little bit more clear that, it's pretty close, right? It's pretty tight. 53%'s not 100%. It's a far cry from 100%. So there's still gambling involved. There's still risk involved. What about Taj Bradley of the Tampa Bay Rays? You see me rocking my Rays hat. Taj Bradley, pretty darn good pitcher, but he's got about a 53.4% chance of going under. Now, one other thing that I like to point out here, if you are using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, which everybody should be if you're playing on Prize Picks, Underdog, and any of the other DFS pick'em sites out there. And if you're not using it and you want to try it out for the first time, I've left a code down in the description of today's video. Code Curry will get you a 25% off discount on your very first month of the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. So if you've been sitting on the sideline, you've been looking at the optimizer, you've been trying to think about maybe getting it, maybe not getting it, you should get it. It's going to save you time. It's going to make you more profitable over the long term. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to go crazy and win all the money in one night. This is more of a tool that should be used and analyzed and evaluated over a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month period, all right? But yeah, discount code down in the description of today's video. Taj Bradley under 5.5 strikeouts. I already have this in one entry. What really stood out to me is Pinnacle, which is known as the sharpest sports book out there, has him as a minus 154 betting favorite to stay under 5.5 strikeouts. Now, some of these other more mainstream books like your FanDuels and your DraftKings, the odds aren't as good for him to go under 5.5. But I point out Pinnacle because Pinnacle is known in the industry as being one of the sharpest books, if not the sharpest book. And you're getting the most juice on the under at 5.5 there, minus 154 betting favorite to stay under. So we're going to add Taj Bradley. Now, I already have him in a previous slip, so I don't like to double dip on any prop just in case this guy ends up going for 6 strikeouts. I don't want him burning multiple slips, burning me on multiple slips. But we're going to look at it anyway because I know there's some people out there that probably don't have any exposure to Taj Bradley yet under 5.5 strikeouts. So those of you who don't have any Taj Bradley under 5.5 Ks, feel free to use it. I already do, but we're going to look at it again together. What other picks are up here? And by the way, if you want to take a screenshot of this and you want to look into these picks a little bit more on your own, do some independent studying, some independent research, by all means do so. Consider this a sneak preview. Who else do we have here? We've got Garrett Cole under 6 Ks at a 54.5% chance of staying under. Let's add him to the slip as well. Now, those flat props, the props that are missing the hook being that 0.5. In other words, Garrett Cole set at 6. He's not 6.5. He's not 5.5. He's just an even Steven 6 strikeouts, right? Those have an opportunity to potentially tie or push, which means your entry would be reverted from like a 4 pick down to a 3 pick, or from a 6 pick down to a 5 pick, whatever you like to play. So just know that there's a chance Cole lands on exactly 6 and ties or pushes. But nonetheless, we're going to look at that one too, because it's the top play on the MLB optimizer right now. Now, he could get bumped down to 5.5 while we're talking about it here. Very real chance that it happens. We'll see. Maybe he stays at 6. Maybe he ends up tying at 6. What else? We got Aaron Judge for less than an RBI. I'm going to skip over that one. The Yankees actually have a pretty favorable matchup tonight. That's just too boom or bust, hit or miss for me. Judge is obviously Aaron Judge, good player, good hitter. I'm just going to fade that one, stay away from that one. I ain't going to touch it. If you want to throw it in there in a slip, by all means do so. You've got the odds in your favor on this one. Let's see who else we have. Randy Vasquez of the San Diego Padres, starting pitcher there. Earned runs allowed line is sitting at 2.5 ERA. 53.1% chance that he is going to allow at least 3 earned runs or more. And again, when you reference Pinnacle, the sharpest sports book out there, minus 142 betting favorite to go over 2.5 earned runs allowed. So you're getting good juice from the sharpest sports book out there. And then all the other sports books are also in line with this, juiced for the over on 2.5 earned runs allowed. So we'll add Randy Vasquez to the slip as well. Randy Vasquez, come on down. You're the next contestant on Prize Picks is right. So we're going to add him in for more than 2.5 earned runs allowed, taking on the Atlanta Braves. Now, them Braves bats, those Braves bats can be very boom or bust, very hit or miss. They aren't the same Braves that they were last season, all right? They aren't who we thought they were, in the words of the late, great Dennis Green, longtime Vikings coach, Cardinals coach, infamous press conference. They are who we thought they were. In this case, the Braves are not who we thought they were. They aren't the same offense as they were last season. All right, but we got 4 picks to look into. So here are 4 positive expected value plays, plus EV plays. And then we're going to apply the projections to these and see if the projection models are rocking with or rocking against what we're seeing out on your favorite sports books, right? The odds on the sports books. So we'll start with Haney Brown, pitcher strikeout combo at 10.5. Is it projecting for more than 10.5? That's what we're hoping for, right? When we check these projection models. So we go to the strikeout category. This is The Bat by Derek Carty. It's being hosted here on EV Analytics. Fantastic tool, the sharpest, most accurate MLB projections that are out there right now. So let's start with Mr. Taj Bradley. He's projected for 5.27 strikeouts. Now, his standalone strikeout line is at 5.5, but he's projected for 5.27 strikeouts. So there's Taj Bradley strikeout. We have him in our slip. Under. So far he meets the criteria. Haney Brown. We got to go Haney Brown next. Andrew Haney's projected for 4.76. Hunter Brown's projected for 5.54. So you kind of combine those two. It's a little bit over 10, right? Like 10.2, 10.3, right around the 10.3 range, which does technically kind of put them under the 10.5. It's a pretty sharp line compared to the projections for Haney and Brown. Bradley looking good, though, at 5.2 with the slight projection coming in under the 5.5. What about Garrett Cole? Mr. Cole of the New York Yankees here. Garrett Cole is projected for about 5.92 strikeouts according to the bat. So Garrett Cole's line sitting at 6. I would be fine taking the under at 6. 6 or fewer kind of seems like the outcome here for Garrett Cole going up against Baltimore tonight. The projection, if it was like 6.9 projected Ks, then I wouldn't feel so good about taking the under at 6. But at 6 with a projection of 5.92, I think we're fine here. I think push or less is kind of where things are sort of lining up. But these aren't my projections. I don't make them or anything. I'm just using them. They're not my tools, but I rely on them because I know that they are accurate. Not 100% accurate, but definitely more accurate than I would be trying to manually research if Garrett Cole's strikeouts are good or not good for less than 6Ks. So we're going to leave Garrett Cole in there. I think Taj Bradley's a fine play. This combo I'm a little sketchy on. Both Houston and Texas have good offenses too, and that's something else that I kind of like to look at. I go over here to the bat, and I look at the projections for the stacks, offensive stacks. And when you kind of look at the projections here, you can see, let's see, Houston, they're kind of like a mid-tier offensive stack today going up against Andrew Haney. So they could potentially put some lumps on Andrew Haney. Same thing with the Texas Rangers. They're projected a little bit higher than the Houston Astros are offensively today. Again, right in the middle of the pack in terms of like what their projected fantasy score is as a squad, as a unit. And so if they start beating up on Brown, start beating up on Haney, it's going to be hard for these guys to go over their 10.5 combo strikeouts. So out of these picks so far, I would probably, like, if I was going to play the over on this one, this 10.5 combo, I'd probably flex it. I don't have the luxury of flexing. I live in Florida. Unfortunately, we only have what's called PrizePicks Pick'em Arena, which is nothing but power plays. There's no flex option available to Floridians. But this would be more of a flex candidate for me, I think, this combo. Just because the lines are so sharp, the projections are so sharp on it. I'm going to fade it, though, being that I cannot flex. We've already got Taj Bradley. I've already got Taj Bradley in a slip under 5.5 Ks. So if you want to take him, I think he will probably get bumped down to 5. Cleveland, the Guardians, do not strike out at a very high clip. They've got a lot of low strikeout rate guys in that lineup. So it could be tough sledding for Taj Bradley when it comes to finding Ks. So keep that in mind. It's either under on Taj Bradley or fade for me. Under or fade, I don't think I feel comfortable taking the over on Bradley against the Guardians just because they don't strike out a whole lot. But Garrett Cole, I'm leaving in there because I don't have any Garrett Cole exposure, which brings us to Randy Vasquez, San Diego Padres starting pitcher going up against the Atlanta Braves. Again, I like to look at something like the offensive projections for the Braves. Are they projecting well tonight? Not so well. In fact, they are projecting pretty well as an offensive stack, sitting right up here at the, seventh highest projected offense today, going up against Randy Vasquez. So they do expect the Braves to inflict some damage on Vasquez. I don't mind that. Vasquez over 2.5 earned runs allowed. Hopefully the Braves bats show up. Hopefully they're doing their job. But yeah, Vasquez, let's run the projections on his earned runs allowed real quick. So we'll switch over to the ER category and we'll type in Randy's name. We've got Vasquez projected for about 85 pitches tonight. They expect him to be out there and throw at least 85 pitches. That sounds like a good solid 5 to potentially 6 innings of work for Vasquez. So we just need him to give up these earned runs allowed in about 5 innings or less, and about 85 pitches that he's projected for. So, again, it's all going to boil down to, are the Braves making contact, or are they swinging, missing? Are they popping out, grounding out? You know what I mean? We need good quality at bats. We need contact, hard contact from the Braves tonight against Randy Vasquez, who's not much in terms of pitching prospect. So I'm going to leave Vasquez in there over 2.5 earned runs allowed with Garrett Cole. So we got these two brewing. Let's take a couple of these questions here. I see that Everyday Fantasy left a super chat. Appreciate you leaving that super chat for me, Mr. Fantasy. My guy Don P. Let's give that little super chat a like, a little thumbs up there. Can I check on Hendricks 2.5? Oh, look at that. They just pulled Randy Vasquez from the board. Sons of bitches. Those sons of bitches. Can't even build out a slip. We can't even build out a slip without PrizePicks pulling props down. Yeah, they just pulled a quick one on us. They took Randy Vasquez down at 2.5 earned runs allowed. Boo. Boo, PrizePicks. Boo. Let's look at the Kyle Hendricks 2.5 earned runs allowed demon for our guy Everyday Fantasy. Maybe that'll be a worthwhile substitution for our guy Randy Vasquez. Kyle Hendricks is going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. Everyday Fantasy liking the demon at 2.5 earned runs allowed. Let's take a look at the Cardinals offense today. Are they a highly projected offense? Mid-tier projected offense? It looks like they're more kind of like mid to upper tier. If you could see where they're at here on the screen. Not toward the top like the Kansas City Royals, but not too far behind the Royals. They're kind of a mid to upper tier or upper mid tier, however you want to phrase that. Offense today, 35.1 projected fantasy score. So that kind of puts them toward the top, just outside the top 10, maybe like a top 12, top 15 in that range. So Hendricks could potentially be in trouble. Now, what about the projection for Hendricks on his earned runs allowed here? We're going to need him to get smacked around, right? 3 earned runs or less is what we're hoping for. What's the projection for his earned runs over on the bat? They've got him at 2.83 projected earned runs. 2.83, slightly higher than 2.5. So as far as it checking out as a favorable projection, it is. Now, you won't find this play on the optimizer because it's a demon. Demons and goblins typically do not show up on this daily grind fantasy optimizer tool here. These are typically non-demon, non-goblin prop lines. Yeah, I think PrizePicks is watching my videos too. Either that or you guys are running out there and you guys are snatching up these props and putting a lot of money on them, and then PrizePicks is kind of forced to make a move. In other words, pull them, bump them, stuff like that. But yeah, we could leave Kyle Hendricks in there. Obviously, there's more risk involved. It is a demon for a reason. It ain't going to be free. No such thing as free. But we could pull up Kyle Hendricks and kind of take a look and see if, he's been doing well, not so well for my hit rate homies and my hit rate homegirls out there who like to look at the hit rates. I don't think hit rates matter all that much. I don't think we're uncovering anything that the books don't already know by looking at hit rates. I think the hit rates are situational, right? Matchup-based. Styles make fights, as they like to say. Each matchup's a little bit different. Just because he gave up, 7 earned runs here against Milwaukee doesn't mean that he's going to give up that many tonight. But maybe he does. Maybe he does. He's coming off of a good game against the Angels. Angels offense, not very good. Now, the Cardinals offense, I would say, is probably a little bit better than the Angels, but not by much. Both of these offenses, not very good. You can see the teams that he's really struggled against, though, have been better quality teams from an offensive standpoint. Teams like the Rangers, the Dodgers, the Padres. This was probably back whenever the Padres were a lot healthier. The Diamondbacks, pretty good team. Then you got some stinkers in here, too. The Marlins, the Pirates. Brewers are okay. But that's kind of what Kyle Hendricks has been up to. So this is Outlier. If you guys have never seen Outlier before, there's a 7-day free trial for you waiting down in the description of today's videos. Click that link, and you can try this out for 7 days risk-free. All right? Now, the issue with Hendricks, the last time that he took the mound, yes, he gave up 2 earned runs, but he only pitched 2 innings. We need him to go further than 2 innings. And we need the Cardinals to smack him around a little bit. The Cardinals versus right-handed pitching, they actually have been pretty good this season. If you take a look at the last 30 rank for batting average, they rank 5th. That's a 273 batting average, which is pretty darn good. So top 5 when it comes to batting average against right-handed pitchers. Their on-base percentage is top 10. They rank 9th for the season, 9th in the last 30 days. Slugging percentage is there in the top 10 as well. They rank 7th. So there's an opportunity here, if the Cardinals bats are popping like we need them to be, for them to do some damage against old Kyle Hendricks here. So, yeah, we could keep him in there as a demon play. So you could definitely feel somewhat confident, I would say, taking this. Again, demons, you guys already know how demons work. There's more risk involved, but more risk that you take on, the bigger the payout that you get as well. So there's a trade-off there. So we got these 2 in there. Appreciate the super chat. I think I'm going to ride with it. I think I'm rolling with it, Mr. Everyday Fantasy. Kyle Hendricks over 2.5 earned runs allowed. A lot of you guys are saying you're getting the $5 deal, the $5 discount over on PrizePicks. I see you. Yeah, me too. It's $5, but it's different for everyone because some people are saying they're getting $20. Some people are saying they're getting $35 protected play. What's up, Ripo? Yeah, so it's a little different for everyone. Let's see. Somebody was liking some Freddie Peralta over 6Ks. Yeah, I think I took that one. He was at 6.5, and I think he got bumped down to 6. And I did take the over on Freddie Peralta at 6Ks. This is another one of those ones where it's probably lining up for a tie or push type of situation. But I did take the over on Freddie Peralta sitting at exactly 6. And why did I do that? Well, let me show you. He's projected for a little bit more than 6. At 6.5, they were saying take the under, they being the odds from the sports books. I didn't want to take the under at 6.5 with his projection being 6.4. That was a little too sharp for my taste, for my liking. But now that he's down to 6, he's projected for 6.4, a little bit more of an edge or an advantage for us to take him over at 6. Now, yeah, he could tie. He could land on exactly 6. And if he does, so be it. That's just what you have to put up with when you're playing on PrizePicks, unfortunately, with the way that they bump their props up and down. But let's look at Freddie real quick. At 6 strikeouts, you've got about a 53% chance, 52.94% if we're being picky here, but a 52.94% chance of him having 6 or more Ks. 6 or more Ks, about a 53% chance. Which again, you flip that around, as you can see right underneath it, about a 47% chance that he has less than 6 Ks. So keep that in mind. There is risk involved. But he is a big betting favorite to go over 6.5 here. You can see he's a minus 141 betting favorite at 6.5 strikeouts over on Pinnacle. So the Pinnacle's bettors out there are betting the under at 6.5, which is why PrizePicks bumped him down to 6. But if they put his line down to 5.5, I can guarantee you that he's going to be a big betting favorite to go over 5.5. So I think 6 is just the middle ground, the appropriate number. And don't be surprised if he lands on exactly that many strikeouts. But yeah, Peralta's done a pretty good job overall this season for hitting 6 or more Ks. Again, we're going to use Outlier real quick for those who like to see sort of like a visual representation of his strikeouts. This is where Outlier really shines here. So you just find him. I'm going to look at his 2024 games, all of the games that he's played in 2024. And you see there's only been 4 times out of the 18 starts where he's had fewer than 6 strikeouts. Only 4. Otherwise, he's hit 6 or more Ks in, 14 out of 18? So the 6 or more looks like a good way to go here. You know, just based on the hit rates. The last time he played Washington was from last season, so take this with a grain of salt. That's like ancient history in terms of sports. The Nationals roster's changed a lot since last season to this season. So when you go back and you look at like, oh, well, he had 7 against Washington. That was last season. Like that I can't stress to you that doesn't matter. This game from last season doesn't matter a whole lot. Sure, it's fun to look at. Yeah, he got him. But maybe he got a bunch of bums in the lineup for the Nationals last season. Probably a good chance. The Nationals weren't very good last season. So just be cautious when you look at like hit rates, especially hit rates from like matchups from last season. And that doesn't matter if it's baseball, if it's basketball, or whatever sport you like to play. Hit rates from a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they don't matter a whole lot, guys. They don't matter a whole lot. Okay? So take that type of stuff with a grain of salt here. But yeah, 6 or more Ks, he's done a really good job of getting at least 6. 14 out of 18 times he's had at least 6. The Nationals, pretty good team when it comes to not striking out. I will give them that. Their strikeout rate for the season, they ranked 9th overall. In the last 30 days, they've tightened up. They're not striking out quite as much over the last 30 days. They've went from 9th down to 3rd. So this is a top 3 team in terms of not striking out to right-handed pitchers. But But this is Freddie Peralta we're talking about here, a guy who's in the 93rd percentile in K percentage amongst all MLB pitchers. So he's up there at the top tier, baby. This is about as good as it gets in terms of a strikeout pitcher in Major League Baseball. So you've got the unstoppable force, immovable object kind of going head to head here. A really good strikeout pitcher versus a team that doesn't strike out a whole lot. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I would, in terms of Freddie Peralta, I would lean toward the over. He's projected for slightly more than 6. He's also a plus EV betting favorite to have at least 6. Now, it might be hard for him to find 7. So if he ties or pushes at 6, don't be surprised. But yeah, I did take him over 6. We'll see. If he's rolling, maybe he's got that 7, 8K upside tonight. All right. Now, Chris Monen's also talking about some Freddie Peralta here, but he's talking the fantasy score or the Ks for Freddie Peralta. So Mr. Chris is liking either the fantasy score or the Ks for Peralta. Let's go take a look at the fantasy score. Maybe that's the better route because this guy could get 5 to 6 Ks. He could go through, 6+ clean innings of baseball without giving up any earned runs allowed. And then if he does get through 6 innings without giving up any earned runs allowed, and he has 5 or 6 Ks, I mean, right there, you're looking at about 36 fantasy score. And then, of course, he can qualify for the quality start bonus and then potentially get the win if the Milwaukee Brewers offense provides some run support today against the Washington Nationals and their starting pitcher. So maybe the fantasy score is the better route. If you don't want to tie or push and you think Peralta is going to have a good outing today, then you may want to pivot over to going fantasy score instead of going with the strikeouts. So how I've been kind of evaluating pitcher fantasy score, a couple of different things. I look at who is the starting pitcher opposite of Freddie Peralta, and is it a good pitcher or bad pitcher? And is Peralta's offense projecting well overall? Because we want to get somebody, if we're going to take the over on fantasy score, we want to get somebody that's going to have some of that win equity, right? The win gets you a pretty fat bonus. What is it worth? 6 points, I think, if the pitcher is the winning starting pitcher. It's pretty significant. That and the quality start could get you like a combined 10+ fantasy score on top of the pitching outs and the strikeouts, right? So you want to get guys that are in position to get the quality start to get the win. And so he's taking on the Washington Nationals today. Let's go over to the stack projections real quick again and take a look at those. The Milwaukee Brewers are going up against Jackson Rutledge. Who's Jackson Rutledge? I've never heard of him. No offense. Probably a young fella. But you can see the Brew Crew right there at 5th overall. 5th highest projected offense on today's slate, which means Freddie Peralta should have some good run support here. We want the Brewers to beat up Jackson Rutledge. We want them to put some runs on the board, get Peralta to the lead. Hopefully they maintain the lead for the entirety of the game after Peralta exits inevitably. But yeah, I think the Brewers offense versus Jackson Rutledge, it's projecting well. And then on the flip side, we've got the Washington Nationals against Peralta, right? How are they projecting as an offensive stack? 2nd lowest projected offensive stack. So things look really nice here for Freddie Peralta. Not only does his offense have a really nice matchup, so he should get some run support, but he himself, Peralta, against the Washington Nationals are not projecting very well today, which means hopefully he's not giving up a ton of hits that turn into runs, that turn into earned runs allowed. Those earned runs allowed are -3 for each one you give up as a starting pitcher, so that would definitely impact his fantasy score. Basically, for every earned run allowed, it erases one of your strikeouts as a pitcher when it comes to fantasy score, right? But Peralta looks like he's in a pretty good spot. Should have the run support. Shouldn't be in any real danger versus the Washington Nationals today. I don't have any Freddie Peralta fantasy score yet, but I could tell you this. I think I do now. As far as the weather from this game, not really a situation to monitor whatsoever. Clear skies here. Should be clean weather. I don't see them up here at all. Yeah, they're playing in a dome. They're fine. This game's in Milwaukee. So no weather to be worried about. Perfect. Cool. Just wanted to double check. Make sure this game was in Milwaukee. Miller Park, domed arena, or not arena, domed stadium, ballpark. So yeah, he should be fine. I like that. Good call out for Freddie Peralta. Let's look at the projections for Peralta real quick. Freddie Peralta's fantasy score, the bat has him at 35.68. Yeah, it's slightly lower than where he's at on Prize Picks at 37.5, but it's close enough for me to take a shot, to take a stab at it at 37.5. Little last five. You know, Prize Picks offers these last five fantasy score charts in their app. But yeah, I think we could leave him in there. Looks fine. Looks fine, Chris. I'm rolling with it. I'm with you. I mean, he could land on 5 or 6 Ks and still hit the over on his fantasy score with the way that the Brewers offense is projecting, the way that the Nationals offense is projecting so terribly today. I'm with it. I'm with it. Again, if you guys have any other questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the chat, super chats. I'm going to take the super chats, prioritize the super chats over, the other questions. It's just the way that goes. But I'm not going to completely neglect you other guys either. What else do we got here? How about Hunter Brown under on the strikeouts? Yeah, I took Hunter Brown under 6 Ks earlier. Again, we kind of talked about the combo of Brown and Haney being somewhat of a tight, sharp line at 10.5. But if you wanted to go just Hunter Brown on his own, you could take Hunter Brown under 6 Ks. I did already in a slip that I posted for Dub Club members. By the way, if you're interested in joining Dub Club, you get a 3-day free trial, and then it's only 67 cents per day. There's more picks, plays, parlays being shared by myself and some of our sharp community members in there. So feel free to get yourself into some Dub Club. It's a community I've put together. You get full Discord access, tons of private channels that become public channels when you join Dub Club. That's where all the picks and stuff are being shared. So you want to support your boy, you want access to a kick butt community, friendly people who are helping one another, and some winning picks, plays, and parlays being shared, and stats and information and research. Boom. Dub Club. Left a link for it in the live chat window. There's also a link in the description of the video down at the bottom for you. Let's see. Outside of that, what else? Hunter Brown. Yeah, let's get you a projection on Hunter Brown real quick. I mentioned to you guys that I did take the under at 6 Ks. He's projected for 5.54. So with a projection of 5.54, that kind of leads you to believe that, hey, this could break one of two ways, right? He could get 5 or he could get 6. 5.54 leans a little bit more towards 6, but it could go 5, could go 6. And he's going against the Texas Rangers. And we already talked about the Texas Rangers offense is projecting pretty well today. So there's a chance that they beat up on Hunter Brown here. That's where they're projected as a upper mid-tier stack offensively against Hunter Brown today. So yeah, I did take the under on Hunter Brown. Not going to take him again. I don't like to double dip, but Hunter Brown makes sense if you wanted to go there. Let's see. Who's some other guys that I don't have in an entry yet? Let's see. It's not a big pay bump for the Hendricks Demon. Yeah, well, probably for good reason, right? Hendricks has like 7 earned run allowed upside, So it's not like, it is a demon, but it's not exactly like the most risky demon out there. Not all demons are created equal. Some demons, you get the bigger multiplier, the bigger payout, right? The bigger bonus than others. Yeah, mine is an arena play. Yeah, I live in Florida, where they offer a different Prize Picks product than they do in most states, called Prize Picks Pick'em Arena. So it's a little different. So depending on where you are, Seahawks, blue, green, You may be in a state where they only offer arena too. I don't know. Maybe you're visiting somewhere. I'm not sure. But yeah, I like Peralta. Sean Manaea at, what's he at? Still at 6.5 Ks. So I'm a little iffy on this guy. Manaea can be very inconsistent. I mean, you can see the last 4 games, he's had 6 or fewer Ks, but this is the Colorado Rockies here. Did you guys watch Hunter Green absolutely decimate the Colorado Rockies yesterday? I think he struck out the first 6 batters that he faced. Hunter Green did. Now, I'm not putting Sean Manaea in the same category as Hunter Green. What I'm simply doing is saying that the Colorado Rockies are a team that likes to swing and likes to miss. And they could make even the biggest of bums or the most average of pitchers like Sean Manaea, that's a nicer way to put it, look like they're something special. And so there's a reason, again, why I say he is at 6.5 Ks. Let's not go looking at these hit rates and start falling in love here because you see red, 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 red. Red, 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 red. But this is the Rockies we're talking about here. This is a different level of competition. A team that's striking out at a higher rate than probably the Rangers, Yankees, Nationals, and Pirates are. Okay, keep it in mind. So don't go falling in love with the hit rates. The hit rates, again, they don't matter a whole lot. It's all about the matchup in front of you. Who is Manaea facing today? He's facing a bad team, the Colorado Rockies. Now, I don't want to take the under on Sean Manaea just because he's went under in the last 4 games. Let's look at him, though. Why guess when we can, use some data here? Now, you're seeing that a lot of data is being pulled in here from these sports books that would suggest that we take the under on Sean Manaea, and maybe he does stay at 6 strikeouts today, gang. I'm not saying it's impossible. His line at 6.5, they try to set it to be a coin flip. The lines makers try to make it to where, hey, this line at this number, 6.5 strikeouts, he could land on 6 strikeouts. He could land on 7 strikeouts. I mean, that's what they're trying to do, right? Set a line that's as sharp as possible, a 50-50 proposition. 53% chance, though, based on the odds pulled from sites like Pinnacle and some of these other books, for him to stay under 6.5, which he's done in the last 4 games. Now, what about a projection on Sean Manaea? There's a reason why I haven't taken him today. And that's because his projected strikeouts on the bat, a sharp player prop projection model, has him at 6.97. So they think that he could land on, 7 Ks today. Now, if he gets bumped down to 6, I'm in there like swimwear on 6 for the over. But I don't know that he's going to get bumped down to 6. 6 might be push territory, and PrizePicks may not want to put him down to 6 because of the likelihood of him landing on exactly 6. Let's look at something here. How many times has he went over 5.5 Ks? In other words, 6 or more, if he gets bumped down to 6, that is. Or maybe you're playing on a site where you can take an alt line, where you can take a pitcher strikeouts for 6 or more. You could do that. Yes, the official diverse, I took Taj Bradley under 5.5 strikeouts. I did that. But here you go. Here's some visuals here for you, Sean Manaea peoples. 6 or more Ks. He's done this in 9 out of 17 games. So if he gets bumped down to 6, I'd feel more comfortable taking the over at 6 than I would taking the under at 6.5. He's touched 7, 8, 10 strikeouts in the past. So, I mean, he could get it going. He could go over 6.5 tonight. It's not unbelievable, especially against this team. The Rockies against left-handed pitching. You can kind of see it here up on the screen. 25.1% K rate for the season. That puts him 28th. They've gotten even worse here over the last 30 games in terms of strikeout rate. That number's gone up a little bit. They're now the 29th ranked strikeout team to lefties. So yes, the potential is high here for Sean Manaea. No, he's not Hunter Green, but the Colorado Rockies are who we thought they were. They're a strikeout team. But yeah, I would wait. Maybe there's enough people that are jumping on the under at 6.5 here based on what this optimizer is telling them. If that's the case, if he gets bumped down to 6, then I would be more akin to taking the over at 6. So I'm a wait and see on Manaea. If he goes down to 6, I'll take the over. But as of right now, I'm just going to fade him. Fade it and look for something better. We need one more, right? One more prop, and then I can lock in a $5, an exciting, thrilling $5 protected play over on PrizePicks. But here's your Taj Bradley. Somebody asked about Taj Bradley again. Yeah, 53.4% chance he's staying under 5.5 Ks. So if you're playing on PrizePicks, you'd want to take the under. If you think Bradley goes over 5.5 Ks, don't take it on PrizePicks. Go to Sleeper, Parlay Play, Fliff, your favorite sports book, and bet the over on Bradley at more than 5.5 Ks on one of those sites. If you think he's going to go over 5.5, don't take it on PrizePicks. It makes absolutely no sense for you to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it on PrizePicks. Do it somewhere else. Here's one. Carson Spears of the Cincinnati Reds, over 17.5 pitching outs. A lot of juice coming in on the over on this one. Minus 141 betting favorite out on Pinnacle. You can see all the other juice here on these other books. He's a betting favorite to go over 17.5 on some of these other sites. So what does this mean? What are pitching outs? Some of you guys probably don't know what pitching outs are. Every inning has 3 pitching outs, right? So in order for him to go over 17.5 pitching outs, he'd have to make it through how many innings? How many innings, live chat? I'm going to let y'all do the math. If every inning has 3 pitching outs and we need him over 17.5 pitching outs, how many innings does he have to make it through? Pop quiz. Spencer? Tyrone? I see we got some smart cookies out here. Yeah. You take 3 pitching outs, you multiply it by 6 innings, you get 18 pitching outs. So he's going to have to make it through 6 innings tonight. This is a solid look. A lot of juice coming in on the over. Who are the Cincinnati Reds and Carson Spears facing today? This is another thing I like to look at. They're taking on the Miami Marlins. Now, the Miami Marlins offensively, their team is projecting quite well overall today as an offensive stack. Miami's sitting right up here at 37.92 projected fantasy points, which makes them, like the 6th highest projected stack offensively today. Yeah, you said 27. 27's incorrect. That's okay. This is a learning moment. You've just learned. You've learned a valuable lesson here. But yeah, 3 pitching outs per inning. Juice is coming in on the over at 17.5 pitching outs. So he's got to get 18 or more pitching outs, which means he's got to get through 6 innings. 6 innings. But anyway, the Miami Marlins, typically not a great team when you think about their hitters, you think about their offense, but they are projecting pretty well today. Now, if this was some other pitcher of merit, of quality, other than Carson Spears or Spires, then the over at 17.5 pitching outs would probably be easy peasy. But he's not a great pitcher. He's a young guy. So the Marlins offense is projecting pretty well. So he could get into some trouble tonight, gang. It ain't a home run, to use a baseball reference. It ain't a home run, but there is a lot of good juice coming in on the over. So is it a plus EV play? It is. Definitely is. So he could make the cut here. I mean, maybe we give him a little credit. Maybe we discredit the Marlins and we think, hey, Marlins ain't all that either. He's not a good pitcher, but they ain't all that either in terms of offense. 18 is about the most that this kid's gone through as far as pitching outs. 6 innings is about the most you're going to see him get through. Now, who has he done it against? He's done it against teams like Pittsburgh twice, the Cardinals once, struggled against Detroit, didn't even make it through 5 innings, got pulled before he can complete 5 innings. That was July 5th. His last start. So, yeah, I mean, you could put him in there. It is a plus EV play, technically speaking. And I think I will. I'll take a shot on it, right? $5. That's my protected play limit today. Flex Friday protected play. Make sure you check that box if you're rolling with it. Again, I can only play up to 4 picks because I live in Florida. I can't play a 5 pick or a 6 pick. But if there's any other picks that we discussed that you're liking, then feel free to add those onto this and make yourself a 5 pick flex, a 6 pick flex. That would be the best way to go. The most optimal entry size would be a 5 or 6 pick flex. The third most optimal entry size would be this 4 pick power play. So you get a 10.5x payout on this. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. This will be my Flex Friday play. I put my big old $5 down on it. So that's all I can put down. I hope one day PrizePicks returns to its former glory here in Florida and they start allowing 5 and 6 pick flex. I hope they figure it out before football season, especially. Yeah, I don't know how the I don't know how he came up with 27. I'm not sure how he worked that math out. I'm not sure. Good answer though. It was a good try. But here's 4 picks for you. We did throw a little demon in there. No, you don't get a huge bonus or boost for this demon because Kyle Hendricks sucks. Kyle Hendricks is not a good pitcher. You're not taking a great big risk on Kyle Hendricks going over 2.5 earned runs allowed. In fact, I could even argue that this shouldn't even be a demon. This should just be, or maybe his demon line should be 3.5 or something. I don't know. It took Hendricks off for you, or you decided to leave Hendricks off. I'm not sure. But there's 4 options that all look pretty solid. Refreshing the optimizer here, there's Garrett Cole. We already put him in there under 6Ks. He's still sitting pretty at the top of the heap. Oh, they took him off? Weird. Let me double check something here. Oh, he's still a demon for me. He's still up there. Here's some other options. We talked about some of these, and I think Tariq Skubal got bumped up to 7, so you won't be able to get him. I took Hunter Brown for less than 6Ks. It's showing green right now, which usually means that play is no longer available on the PrizePicks board. So if you ever take a pick and then it turns green before the game even starts, in other words, this number here of 6 is green, where these other ones are white, that green usually indicates that pick is no longer an option or no longer available on PrizePicks. In case y'all didn't know that. Here's another one we talked about. That was Taj Bradley under 5.5 Ks. I did take the under there. Freddie Peralta from more than 6. I took that one. Also got some Freddie Peralta fantasy score, as you guys just seen. So there's like 8 different options for you. See if there's anything else here. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, feel free to leave a super chat or just drop a message in the channel if you prefer. Let's see. Anything else here before I jump off? I don't want to make this any longer than it has to be, but we've got 5, 6, 7 picks or something that we've already kind of discussed at length. You got some other hitters that are popping up here, like Bryson Stott for more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Stott and the Phillies are going up against Hogan Harris today, so that doesn't look like a bad move. If you wanted to take Bryson Stott for more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, Phillies overall, offensively, are looking like a pretty good stack or a good team, which is important on a hit, run, and RBI prop over or a hitter fantasy score over, right? Because this player could get on base. Bryson Stott could get on base, but then he's going to need somebody behind him to knock him in to increase his chances of going over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. So, I like to look at the team overall. In this case, the Philadelphia Phillies. Are they a good overall projected offense? Is the stack, the team in general, projecting well? In this case, the Phillies are. So Stott over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs makes sense here. A guy could get on base ahead of him. He could go up to bat. He could knock that guy in with a single, and then all of a sudden he's over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs in one at bat, right? Just playing out some different scenarios of how he could get there. So as far as a projection on Bryson Stott, let's look at Stott's hits, runs, and RBIs projections real quick. If you guys are enjoying the live stream, let me know by hitting the like button for me. Hit the like button. Share the channel, share the live stream. I appreciate all that love and support. I'm not even getting a projection on Bryson Stott here. Bryson, where are you? Yeah, I don't see anything for Bryson Stott. That's weird. Let's check RotoWire. Maybe they've got one. Stott. There he is. Boom. RotoWire's projections like some Bryson Stott. They got him at 2.23 going up against Oakland. And again, the Phillies offense looks like one of the top tier offenses today. One of the top 5 projected offenses overall. So there you go. Stott could be a good play. Hogan Harris, 2.5 Goblins. Ooh. Well, we talked about Hogan Harris in terms of like the matchup against the Phillies. Phillies 4th overall offensively. They're probably going to beat Hogan Harris up. They're probably going to put some lumps on Hogan Harris today. But that's a pretty low number. 2.5 Goblin Ks. Let's look at it. I'm going to look at it. I want to pull it up here on Outlier and just kind of get a glimpse here of what Hogan Harris has done. So we go to Outlier. We go to his strikeouts. We change it from 3.5 to his alt line on PrizePicks, which is 2.5. And we can kind of look at what he's done this season. This season, he's hit 3 or more strikeouts in every start except for one, and that was against the Minnesota Twins back on June 23rd. All right. Now, he's going up against the Phillies. Phillies against left-handed pitchers. As far as K rate goes, they're actually trending in the wrong direction if you're thinking about taking overs on Hogan Harris. In other words, they're striking out at a lower clip, a lower rate versus lefties over the last 30 days than they were overall for the season. So doing a better job of not striking out here recently. But yes, I mean, he has had great success of hitting 3 or more strikeouts. Let me see if I have a Hogan Harris strikeout projection for you. Those Goblins can be very good little bankroll builders too, by the way. Yeah, you're seeing Hogan Harris at 3.7 projected strikeouts. A lot of juice coming in on the over at 3.5 strikeouts. So we're thinking about taking the Goblin at 2.5 strikeouts. So a lot of good things for Hogan Harris happening here. So you could come over here to PrizePicks and you could switch using this little switcher button here. You could switch it over to 2.5 pitcher strikeouts, and I think that looks like a fine Goblin. But again, the Phillies offensively look like a very strong offensive team today against Hogan Harris. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Not even the Goblins are a guarantee, but that is a solid-looking Goblin right there. Michael, have a good one, man. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on the next live stream. But yeah, I think we'll cut it off there. We've been going for a little over an hour here. We'll give you one last peek at some additional picks or options that you can consider. We talked about Bryson Stott for more than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. That's a plus EV play. Hogan Harris over 2.5 pitching Goblin. You could take that one against the Phillies. We've already locked in this slip from earlier, which was Garrett Cole for less than 6 strikeouts. We took Kyle Hendricks Demon. Not a big demon, not a big payout demon, but still, we took that one over 2.5 earned runs allowed against the Cardinals today. Freddie Peralta, fantasy score over 37.5 looks good. And we went ahead and rolled the dice here on Carson Spires or Spears for more than 17.5 pitching outs, despite the fact that the Miami Marlins are a top projected offense today. And then these were some picks that I sent out earlier to Dub Club. All right. Speaking of Dub Club, I'm going to go and post the link to Dub Club once again in the live chat. And then I'm going to get out of here and go do some more research for my Dub Club members and try to find some more picks that will hopefully put us in a good position to profit today. So if you want to join Dub Club, 67 cents per day, super cheap, super affordable. And you can be a part of the community that we've built. All right. Good luck on all your picks, plays, parlays. Happy Flex Friday. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.